IGNEA,
Yes.
band from Ukraine, and I have Evgeny with me today. You are playing the keyboards,
Yeah, guitar,
guitar.
actually.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit keyboard guitar kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
How did you come up with this idea? Because I was really anxious to ask you the question.
Honestly, I was too bored with standing on one place with my keyboards.
Right.
And some of the bands we supported, like way back earlier, made fun of it. And they suggested me to get a guitar. And I didn't consider it seriously for a while, but at one moment I just did it and it worked.
Okay. So how do you feel now?
Uh,
It's
going around. I feel very mobile on stage.
okay. So now you're running
Yeah,
around.
yeah,
And stuff.
yeah, absolutely.
So it's so and another question will be who actually producing the music and lyrics in the band?
Uh, well, that changed a bit throughout the history. So in the last album, Dreams of Lands Unseen, I wrote probably like 95% of music because before that it was 100%. And the lyrics are completely written by Hel, our singer.
By
Hel,
Sing- oh, okay.
our singer. Yeah.
yes, she's amazing. By the way,
Oh yeah, thank you.
uh, do your fans asking or saying you are a little bit sound like Ginger?
Uh, I don't think we do actually.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not offensive, of course, but I don't find that much similarities because, I mean, the only thing you could grasp in that is that we and them are female fronted, but I mean, half of the bands are female fronted, and for me, it doesn't make any sense personally.
So you're on a tour with Fear Factory. So how is the tour at the moment?
A bit harsh because that is our first time in the UK,
Right.
and it's a little bit different from continental Europe where we did tour before. And I'd say that in the UK it's a bit harder to be touring because there's lots of constraints, lots of different things you have to account for, and it just makes it a bit more exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You mean to get like the permission to play, or is
No,
just
I
the
mean
logistics
just the actual playing, just
Oh, okay.
the day-to-day touring stuff.
right?
Yeah,
right.
and this is actually, as you mentioned it, this is our first time in the UK, exactly mostly because of the visas, because those are expensive, because £300 each,
Mhm.
and there's like £200 on top just to apply, and you can be denied, and that happened
Right.
to other bands.
Okay, so basically, we come over for the tour. So each one of you have to pay £300
Yes.
for the visas.
Yes.
And those £200 you said what? What is it?
It was for the entire band on top of those money.
Just to apply.
Yeah, just to apply. Everything was just to apply.
Right.
Yeah. So
How difficult it was to get it?
we paid for professional services, so people helped us with the paperwork and
Okay.
all our things. So for us, it was not that difficult, but it still was costly. It was more expensive than for other people who
Right.
would make it themselves.
So I'm just reading here. So the IGNEA is established in 2013. So you're actually celebrating 10 years.
Actually, we are celebrating 10 years tomorrow in London, and we will have a special set list thingy.
Oh, wow.
Yes, that will be like. Actually, I think the band is a bit older. It goes way back to 2008, I believe, but we didn't really play. We just rehearsed. changed all sorts of ideas, changed people, and on 3rd of November of 2013, we gave our first ever show, and we just decided to take that as a starting
as a
point.
starting point.
Yeah.
Right. So this will be a little bit of celebration for tomorrow for the 10 years, or you are planning something extra? Obviously, you release this new album, right?
Yeah.
Is anything extra you planning, or it's just
We are mostly playing like the new songs, but tomorrow we will play the first ever song that started it all.
Oh, really?
Yes. Only once on this tour, and we didn't play it for like 6 last years, and we didn't actually rehearse it. So that's gonna be interesting and rusty.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be live, live rehearsal.
Absolutely, yeah. That's gonna be true and rusty.
So this is almost end of this year. How was the year for you guys?
Disastrous.
Wise,
Disastrous.
disaster.
Yeah, a total disaster because our government decided to close the borders for artists who don't have military IDs. And getting a military ID during actual war is almost impossible without going to fight in a war. Because if you go to the conscription office for a military ID in Ukraine, you will just get conscripted. We found a way to make military IDs without conscription for the two of us who didn't have them. That's me and Dmitro, our guitar player. And as I reckon, I'm pretty sure at this very moment, we are the only rock or metal band from Ukraine who tours legally. From point of view of Ukrainian
From
government.
the government.
Yeah.
See, I have no idea there's such a thing. You know, you have to have a military ID.
Yes.
Okay, this is just because of the war.
Yes, because I think before everyone, well, by law, everyone should have one after becoming 18, and everyone should renew them every 5 years.
Right.
But 95% of people just ignored this because nobody believed in a war in 2022.
Right.
Yeah.
So what's the situation now? Once we talk about it, what's the situation of the
It's
war?
pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, the front line is freezing, and although lots of countries, lots of nations help Ukraine, unfortunately, it's not enough to break the things that happen there. But we have no other choice. We just stand there.
It's only hope.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about something more positive things. Are you planning something for next year tour? Can we expect some tour?
We only said yes to booking new tours.
Oh, okay.
Once we crossed the border from Ukraine to this tour, because we weren't sure we are going out even at that moment.
Right.
So regarding tours, I don't know, but we are booked for Wacken Open Air 2024, and the festivals we were booked for 2023 edition. We are trying to reconfirm them for the next year, and hopefully there's more coming. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
After the promoters saw that we can go out of the country, because that is a very big issue with Ukrainian bands.
So what is the actually going on at the moment? So you released the album. Are you planning something new? Release a new album or new singles, EPs?
I think it's too early to speak about that, but at this moment I would say that I have written probably like 3 ideas, like bearable ideas that could turn into songs. So we are not one of those bands who writes like 200 demos and then just selects out of them. I when we need an album consisting of like 10 tracks, I just write 10 tracks and that's it. We don't have outtakes. And for that reason, it takes a bit longer than I'd like to, but that's how my brain works.
So where are you getting inspiration from?
Honestly, everywhere. I mean, the last demo I wrote was inspired by Ukrainian funk of 70s and 80s. One of the songs you could hear on the latest album, Dreams of Lens and Scene, was I was humming it, and I recorded it on my phone by accident when we had a festival in Portugal, in Aveiro. We played at Vagos Metal Festival, I think it's called. Yeah, it's Vagos. There are two of them, yeah. And while we waited for our hotel situation to be sorted out, I went to go number one under a tree under someone's house, and I just hummed this idea into my phone, and it worked. That's the entire song now.
Wow.
Yeah.
What about lyrics?
That's not up to me. That's to hell. But as far as I reckon, in the last album, we all really love to travel a lot. And during the pandemic, because there wasn't a war at that moment, everything was closed off, and she started reading all sorts of books about famous travelers. And the original idea for the third album was to have like an album in which every song would be about someone who traveled a lot. Like I remember Vasco da Gama was one of them, and at some point she started Googling about what about Ukrainians. We found out about Sofia Jablonska, and she was so amazed by her that in the end, we did an entire album about Sofia Jablonska.
Dreams of the Lands Unseen.
Yes.
Beautiful name.
Yeah.
So that's a concept album, I assume.
Yes, all our albums are concepts.
Oh, concepts.
Yeah.
So it's like a book. You open the book.
Yeah.
And it goes by.
Yeah. Well,
nice.
not necessarily like chapter after chapter, but all the stories in them are always tied together with one team.
Interesting. So where we can find IGNEA? So on all social medias,
Of course, yes. Spotify, Google Music, Apple Music, you name it, everywhere.
Okay. Are you on what label are you at the moment?
Napalm Records.
Napalm Records.
Yeah.
Okay. And is anything else you like to add? Because maybe I forgot something. Evgeny, maybe you would like to address the fans, or maybe you'd like to say something to the world.
UK fans, or like whatever.
Anything I forgot. You like to mention. You like to, express yourself. Something I didn't ask.
Okay. Yeah, I would like to say a huge thank you for supporting Ukraine in the first place, because without that, I think we would be murdered by now. And a giant thank you for supporting us directly, because we feel this support. After 5 years of silence and not touring, we see all the familiar faces, all the faces that are awed by us, and that gives us inspiration just to continue what we are doing right here and right now. Thank you so much, everyone.
There was Evgeny, the keyboardist and one of the founder of the IGNEA from Ukraine. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for
and hopefully we'll see each other one of the meta shows soon, even in UK, anywhere in this world.
Yeah,
so
I would like to see the show again. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. Stay metal.
You're listening to Radio Bloodstream.